Hello everyone. Welcome to MirA's Mix. My name is Mira and today is Show and Tell. I will be showing you my latest mini album. This album was prepared for one of my daughter's best friends, who is now my friend. I hope she likes it. However, I'm making the video now, and then I will be mailing it to her, and it will not go up until she's had a chance to see it first. Before we get into looking at the album, I'll let you know or show you a few of the things that I used in preparing it. First of all, there's a couple of punches. This one is a Martha Stewart punch. And I really like this because it is so compact and folds up. The design on each side helps you line up for a continuous punch. And it's just really nice. Sometimes I have heard other people talk about the name of the punch. I have no idea. I just used my trusty magnifying glass and could not find it on there. The other punch that I used a lot was this one by EK Success. I like it because it is so thin and because they do lock down so that you can store them even in a shallow drawer. And quickly, I believe this one is an EK Success. It's a 1-inch punch. We all have circle punches, probably. Again, it's one that locks down into a flat position. I really like it. The envelopes that I use, this is an envelope album. And I had found some envelopes in my stash that are A7s. They are made by Brazil Basic Paper, BBP. They hold a 5x7 card, but they actually measure 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And the paper pad that I used is from Hobby Lobby. I love this paper pad. There are 50 different designs. It's an 8x8 paper pad. There are 150 pages. It is just paper. It is not cardstock. It's made by the Paper Studio, again from Hobby Lobby. The retail was $12.99. It's right there, so I might as well tell you. And I have really used it a lot, but I couldn't wait to make an album out of it. And some of the pretty, look how big and beautiful that is. That's probably, that loose one is one that I thought about using and never, isn't that beautiful? And never got around to. But it has a lot of really pretty designs, which you'll see them in the book. Okay, I have made, and there's a video on it, my very first mini album was a really small one, and it was made by using bathroom tissue rolls, paper rolls. I made that, I gave it to my nephew, and that's been several years ago, and he still loves it, and he still takes it to school for show and tell. The other album I made was kind of my break-in album. I don't know, I don't believe I have a video out. I may go back and make one. But this is actually, if you count those two, my third album. But it will be my first real album that I put on here. Okay, I started out with some wide ribbon yarn to tie it together with, and I don't remember if I gave you my measurements. I'm sorry. It measures 6 3/8 by 7 3/4 by 2 3/8. So that's making the cover just a little bit larger than the pages. Of course, they're going to be the size of the envelope, which was 7 1/4. So by 7 3/4, we have a quarter at the top and the bottom to add a little border and protect the pages. On the spine, there's just a little canvas with a lace over top of that in the shape of a heart. And I made some danglies. Now this is what I used my circle punch for. Whoops, if I can get that to stay and be in camera. There we go. The charms I had in my stash, I do believe I bought them at Mighty Dollar. We have a Mighty Dollar and a Dollar Tree. And I love them both. But a lot of my paper crafting type things comes from Mighty Dollar for some reason. I do have one close to me now, but I used to have to drive the same distance to get to either one of them. Anyway, we have a cross. This one says faith, and this one has some little bitty writing on it, but it says be the light. And this is one of my 1-inch punch circles, and I just took some leftover paper from making the album, a piece of cardstock, and I glued the paper on both sides, cut out a circle, punched a hole, and there you go. Now this one, I think I also have a hole punch for this size. I'm sorry, I don't remember the size of it. But I just tried to give it at 2 sides because you never know how they're going to land on your spine when they're dangling around. All right, the wide ribbon yarn I got from Michael's in their discount section. And I kind of raided my daughter's bead stash and put a couple of beads on the end of the string. I think it just adds a little to it. And at the end of the video, I'll show you how I had that all tied up. It's not hard. Okay. Also, there's a couple of the 1-inch medallions. I used the circle layering dies. I believe it's the smallest one to add a mat to underneath those 3. This is a dry embossing folder, and I used Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks to decorate and make the seashells kind of pop. The wood embellishments that have been painted by acrylic. This one I mixed black with some silver to give it that look. But both of those came from Mighty Dollar. And the stickers I think might have come from the Dollar Tree. Again, it could be Mighty Dollar. I kind of give them equal billing. Okay, when you first open it up, I left the left side. How about that? Blank because I felt like a 5x7 photo would look really pretty right there. The first page that I did is a waterfall. It's held by a magnet. Here is a little wooden embellishment that looks like a ship in a bottle. I thought that was really cute. That folds down, and then you just begin to flip the pages. And I took some of the leftover paper from making the other pages and made the album. Excuse me. In between, in the gussets of this, I added some washi tape. It's kind of clear once you put it down, so the only thing you really see is the script. I thought that was pretty. And then the last 2 pages, when I got to the striped paper, I decided to put it horizontally so that if you wanted to use it for journaling, adding dates or locations, people's names of who's in the picture, I thought that would be a really good place to go. Then the next thing you see is a photo mat, and it's just a cardstock, rounded corners, and paper on both sides. When you open it up, you'll see these 2 pages. This is where I used, let's see, that one is the EK Success punch. Every page that has the small flip has the same, so they all match and go together. We have the small flap, then you open it up and you have a small flap and a full size. Then on the other side, this flap is the same size as the page. I love that lobster. Makes me want to go eat. Then we just have some wood and some plants. Is that better, guys? Oh, I thought, boy, it looks dark in here. Okay, this is the third time I have tried to record this video, so I am not going to go again. Here is another photo mat. More lobster. I thought it kind of matched that one. But I left the back of that one blank in case you wanted to use some double-sided tape or something like that to add your journaling on, or you could just put a picture back there. A plain back. Then on the next page, we have a pocket. This is where, let's see if you can see it if I turn that around. You see that? That is where I used the Martha Stewart punch on the top of that pocket. And I just used some of the cardstock that's used throughout the album to make tags. And every once in a while I threw in a little, one of my little medallions, is what I'm calling them. And went through my stash and found some stamps with seashells and seaweed and a compass and a sailboat. So you're going to see that kind of thing. I don't have a brand name on those. I'll talk about that in another video maybe. The next photo mat, that is two-sided. Then this page again is going to be your short side. And then this is the same. It's a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch shorter, this flap is. But that's just so it doesn't get pinched when we fold it. Oh, and this time I decided to put a couple of, pardon me for bumping the camera, a couple of tags instead of one photo mat. And just to keep them from falling against each other or falling all the way down into the pocket, it is divided so they will not go next door and they won't get lost. The next page has a diagonal pocket. That paper looks like fish netting. I really like that. And then there's the wood background. And a variety of sizes. We have the ship and a little bird. Now on these that have stamps and coloring, I used Spectrum Noir aqua markers. Isn't that cute? It's a mama and babies. I just thought that was so adorable. And then there's just some rope and some seashells. When I used the aqua markers, I did put them on one of my stamping blocks and use the water pen instead of straight on because I wanted to be able to control the amount of water that was placed in there. And if you can see there, this is the mechanism that is holding my dangles. And that was at the Dollar Tree. I believe there were 12 in a pack for $1, so I couldn't pass it up. Another photo mat in the next pocket. Isn't that chevron pretty? I think that's what it's called. Then we get to the double flip. I love that. When I first seen it, wasn't sure if I liked it, but it grew on me. Then we have another photo mat with the blank back. Isn't that pretty? It makes me just want to pick them up. And that one is plain, but I added a little 3D dragonfly. This pocket is not diagonal. It's straight, but it has the seahorse and the baby seahorses on it again. Love, love. And a few different tags. Another medallion on this one, two-sided. This is, see the little picture is a lobster. This is actually, I have a die that cuts a rectangle into 9 puzzle pieces. I'm not going to take the time. This video would be forever if I tried to put this together for you. But just to show you, it just cut out the pieces and I put cardstock on the back. And that's just to kind of let them know what the picture is going to be when they put it together. Another photo mat. Wooden stripes. Then we have the short side. Aren't those seahorses so cute? I didn't know I like seahorses so much. There's the shell paper again. And the sand. You just want to put your toes in there, don't you? And then the last pocket is tags with the divider on the inside so that they don't get lost. And the very last thing is the inside. Isn't that pretty? Love it. Okay. I promised I would show you how I tied it. So the first thing I do is put the ribbon yarn underneath. And I apologize, I can't move the camera. That's why I've had so much trouble making this video, is the camera. But what I do is make the bottom of the ribbon yarn about 3 or 4 inches longer than the top. Then I crisscross it up at the top, putting the bottom one over to the left. Uh-oh. Hold on, one of my photo mats are trying to escape. Okay, there we go. Don't want to mess it up. All right. Then underneath, we just switch hands. The left goes to the right, and the right goes to the left. See if I got that now. Yes. And tie a bow. And if you left the right amount at the bottom, then it's going to be pretty even when you get it tied. How about that? How nice. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for stopping by my channel. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, subscribe. I plan on having a few more show and tells. Thought about maybe how do I store this videos. I have quite a few ideas. So I would really encourage comments or requests at the bottom of the video and hit the little bell. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll be back. Bye for now. God bless.